and then we can have some Q&A time. Sound good? So I will be talking fast, so I apologize, but I know you guys don't want me to talk all night, so I'm going to cover as much as I can. I'm going to take over the screen. Is that okay? Okay. All right. So I've just got a couple of slides. Again, what I want to talk to you about first is relationship marketing. Relationship marketing is the most effective way to build a business, and it's also, I think, the most fun way. So let's go into it a little bit. Just a quick story about me. I know probably every one of you has a story like this, but I come from I'm not that old, but about 16 years I've worked in the real estate industry for the top real estate coaching and training company. And what they teach, it's called Buffini Company. And as an executive there, I became kind of an expert in this relationship marketing system. As I became a coach about 18 months ago and started my own physical transformation, I felt like what was really missing for coaches was some sort of system like this that we could follow. And I don't know about you guys, but as I saw people, showing me their spreadsheets and their printouts, and it was like, I was like getting hives from it. I can't stand spreadsheets. I'm an organized person, but I can't stand all that, the time and energy it takes to organize all of that. So one of the things that I had done in my corporate career was build a system that helped real estate agents systemize their contacts so they don't have to do any planning. The software does all the planning for them. They just show up each day and do the work. And so that's what I really wanted for us to have as Beachbody coaches. And so I found these guys that would build Teamzy for me. And just so you guys know, Teamzy is independent from me. It's a passion of mine, but it's independent from me. It's its own company. And in return, we get this tool, which is pretty cool. So let me get into what relationship marketing is. Relationship marketing is serving your customers in such a way that they become walking, talking billboards for your business. Okay, and this may sound familiar to you guys because a lot of people think of word of mouth like this. But it's important not to confuse relationship marketing with word of mouth, because what it is it's a way that systemizes your contact and care in such a way that you're deepening relationships over time and you're generating a predictable stream of referrals from their friends, other people you know, and also of business. So it gets to a point where you can forecast mathematically the results you'll get in your business based on the relationships that you're nurturing, which is pretty cool. And I'll show you how that works in a second. Relationship marketing depends on trust. It all depends on trust. None of this works if you're not an authentic, sincere person, okay? And people need to trust you. And the trust does a few things for you. First of all, it's way more fun to do this business when people trust you, right? Because you don't have to talk them into anything. You don't have to convince them about what you're doing. You just get right to helping them. The other thing that trust does is it removes the ickiness from the sales process. You don't ever feel like you're that salesperson because you're working with people who trust you, okay? And the last thing is you get to go for yes. And this is just, for me, I know a lot of you guys probably have read the Eric Ward books and you guys have talked about going for no's and trying to get your, getting lots of rejection today is a success factor, right? Because you're getting closer to the yeses. But for me, I'm a pretty sensitive guy, and the thought of getting more rejection on a daily basis kind of freaks me out. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is go for yes. And so by looking at relationships I have and deepening those and using them to leverage for more referrals, I get to go for yes because everybody already has a level of trust, if that makes sense. Okay. So how do you build trust? Well, there's a couple of things. The pillars of trust are character and competence, okay? And character is when you demonstrate how much you care for somebody and that you're relatable to them, okay? And then competence is when you demonstrate that you're good at what you do. Really, at the end of the day, people only care about three things. Are you good at what you do? Do you care about me? And can I trust you, okay? And if you can get those three things, this will work. This is an important piece too, and I think character comes down to this. People respect consistency and they desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and they desire it for themselves. And I know as coaches, you guys probably hear from people that you're inspiring, your posts are inspiring, or I'm inspired by you. And really what it is it's not, I don't think it's results, because there's a lot of coaches that are inspiring that haven't got six-pack abs or don't have the awesome after picture. What people are inspired by is consistency. They're inspired that you're consistently doing things that they wish they were doing. And it's more though than just being a product of the product. It's also the way you contact people, the way you stay in communication with people, the way you follow up with people. All of those demonstrate your consistency, and they demonstrate that desirable quality that people are looking for. Okay. So again, your integrity is reinforced by your character and competence. And I always ask my team these questions. Are you actually who you say you are? You know, you've got your persona on Facebook or Instagram, whatever. Are you that person? Are you who you say you are? You know, and does your life match what you're teaching? So obviously being a product of the product is a huge piece here. But also, if you're going to talk to people about the fact that relationships are important to you and you don't follow up properly, it tells them a different story. Does that make sense? Okay. And you've probably heard this old cliche that relationship building is a contact sport, or maybe sales is a contact sport. I use the word sales and relationship building interchangeably because to me they're the same thing, right? They're about building relationships. But what that means is not that we're tackling people. It means that we have to stay in contact with people. You actually have to invest time. And investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. It's the only way to deepen relationships. You guys have probably heard the story about, well, I've got this great friend of mine. We only see each other every 10 years. And when we're together, it's just like no time has passed at all. But you know that's not true. Nobody has a friend like that. You're not close to somebody if you're not in contact with them. You're really not. I mean, honestly, the people that you have a good relationship with are the ones you spend time with. So if you want to have a good relationship with your customers or with your potential customers or with the people they know, you have to invest some time in connecting with them. But of course, time is super scarce, so you don't have a lot of time to waste with this. What you need is a system, okay? And you need a system that will help you stay in contact with all of your relationships, not just the ones that came to mind today, or you're going through your Facebook feed and you picked out a few. You need a system that will help you stay in contact with all of them. You need to know when you should be contacting them, and you need to know what to say every time you talk to them, and make sure that nobody ever falls through the cracks. I mean, that's what we need. And that's exactly what Teamzy is built to be, okay? And so what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to jump out here to Teamzy and show you a couple things. This is the website, teamzy.com. If you guys don't already have a free account, you can test it right now for free. Just go click join beta and give me an email address. That's it. You don't have to put credit card or anything like that in to get a free account. I'm going to sign in. Okay, so here's the dashboard, and I'll give you just the 10-cent tour of the dashboard, and then I'll show you how easy it is to set up. Then we'll pop back over here and I'll show you how I do a power hour. But when you come in here, everything you need is right here. So you can see you've got your activities, and this is all based on the income goals you set. How many connects you need to make with prospects each day, with your current customers, with your coaches, and the new people you need to add to your list today, to your database, okay? So those are the most important things you can do in your day. You've also got your daily things that you've committed to doing, your social posts, your personal development. You can check these off when you get them done. Your workout, your shake, right? And it tracks all that for you. You can also keep your why here so that the days you don't feel like doing this, you can remind yourself why you're doing it, okay? So basically, everything you need is here, and you just work through your list. It tells you who to talk to, prospects, then you do your customers, then you do your coaches. Then you've got your follow-ups, and they're all right here in one spot, okay? So let me just show you guys, just so you won't be daunted by this. It's super easy to set this up. Most people don't do this kind of thing because the setup is too hard. So the first time you come in, you'll come right into the setup wizard that I'm taking you through now. And there's some little helpful videos here that'll help you get through it. But basically, we're going to set an income goal. We're going to create a why, and then get some contacts in here. Okay. So first thing you want to do is you set your income goal. How much money do you think you want to make in the next 12 months? I put $150,000 because, you got to go for it, right? And then I'll ask if you have how many personally sponsored coaches you have. If you're a newer coach, if you're diamond coach or below, this number doesn't matter at all. You can just put 0 to set your goal. It's fine. So I'm gonna leave mine there. But once you put in that number, what Teamzy will do is it'll give you a recommendation for how many connects you need to make on a daily basis to get to this goal, okay? All right, so we'll go to the next page here. All right, and there's a little video that explains how we figured this out, okay? How we did the math on what you need to do to connect. Okay, so now it's got it broken down. So it's basically telling me that I need to connect with just over 2,000 prospects this year. I need to be talking to over 1,300 customers. I need to be making over 870 connects with coaches throughout the year in order to hit my goal. And so now it's given me a recommendation, 9, 6, and 4. Okay, so if you don't have a lot of coaches and you'll be through your coaches in a month with 4 every day, you can take that number and add it to your prospects number. Okay. Next is there's a section here on finding your why. And this was really inspired by, I don't know if you guys saw the or listened to the Vito LaFata call on finding your why last year. It was so good. You guys should look it up if you haven't. It's really, really excellent. But it takes you through this process so that you can really refine your deep why, because you need to know what it is that's going to drive you to work on the days you don't feel like doing it. And once you kind of go through this process and create the why that, you know, you've got it kind of distilled down, that will post that on your dashboard so that you see it every single day. And that is a good, I recommend that you guys go through that finding your why process every year. It's kind of like part of setting your goals again, is going through, because that why is going to change over time. You're going to find deeper motivations. The last step here is getting contacts in. So there's videos here. If you're already using a contact management system and you've got a database somewhere, you can export that to a CSV and it'll go right in. There's some instructions here on how to get your friends list from Facebook, which I think is the coolest thing. You get your friends list from Facebook, then you've got all of those people and you can connect with them. And also how to import your customer and coach list from the online office. Okay, so all of that is pretty easy to do. There's step-by-step instructions there. And then once you go through there, the very last step, it's going to take you to your list. And what you guys are going to do, this is kind of a key piece. Hold on, I got your faces in the way of my screen here. Is you're going to sort. You're going to rank everyone on your list. You're going to give them a score. 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 star. Just like you're ranking Netflix or whatever. Okay, and this is really important because if you don't do this, the system doesn't work for you. The reason you need to rank them is because you want to spend more time with the people more likely to be your customer or to refer you customers. Or likewise for coaches, to be a business builder or to refer you coaches, right? Those are the people you want to spend the most time with. So if somebody is a 5-star, they're going to show up every 30 days on your dashboard. So whether you think about them or not, they're going to show up to contact. You're going to get a reminder to contact them every 30 days. If they're a 4-star, they'll show up every 60 days. If they're a 3-star, 90, see where I'm going with this, 2-star, 120. And then if somebody's on your list, but you don't really want to contact them that much, like you just want them there, you keep them as a 1. Okay. So once you do that ranking mode, and you have to do this, I mean, I'll just tell you guys, I had, I think I brought in 1,800 contacts to my account. And it took me about an hour to rank them. Yeah, it was an hour, but it's like now that they're done, I never have to plan my day ever again. Okay. You can change them and change the grade as you go through, but you just got to do it from the gut one time through. Okay. So now it's all set up, right? You've got everybody in there. You've got them ranked. You've got your goals, right? So you can see I've got my goals here for what I want to do each day. So now what I'll show you guys really quick, and it's so weird talking to a bunch of people who are muted. Is that so strange when you guys present? It's like you're talking to yourself. Okay. So I'm going to show you how I do a power hour. Now, what's really cool about this is you can see today I did 16, 7, and 2. So what is that? 9 plus 25. So I reached out to 25 people in an hour this morning. Pretty cool, right? So when was the last time you guys did that? When was the last time you guys reached out to 25 people in an hour? So that's what this will let you do. So let me show you how it works. First, I'm going to start with my prospects, right? So that's my first priority. So I'm going to come in here and here's what I do is I don't even second guess it. I see a name, I connect with them. There are times when I want to skip 1 week, but I'm trying to discipline myself to just do it anyways. So Deborah, okay, great. So I like Facebook. Facebook is my favorite thing in the world. I'm a Facebook junkie. So I use Facebook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up Deborah. There she is. Great. I'm just going to open it up. So I've got it in a separate tab. And I'm just going to say a simple message. My goal is to connect, just to start a conversation with her, okay? So I'm going to do it real time. I'm going to send her a real message. I don't know if you guys can see that on your screens, But I'm writing, hi, Deborah, just popping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day was awesome. And I always, just so you guys know, I know it's kind of not cool to put your name in Facebook messages, but I always do so they know that it's not like some weird spam message, especially if I haven't talked to them in a while. You know, when you get one of those, hey there, how are you? And you know, it's like a hack. So I always put their name and my name in my messages. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy that and send it. Okay, so now it's sent. Now what will happen is I've now hopefully created a conversation with Deborah. She'll connect back with me tonight or tomorrow, whatever, and so we will have a conversation started. And then from there, I'll continue to find out what's going on with her, and we'll talk about Beachbody. So now I paste that message in here, and I click Facebook message, okay? Now it's completed. Notice Deborah is gone from my list. She will not be back on my list. She's a 3. She won't be back on my list for 90 days if she doesn't respond. If she responds, then we'll have a full conversation. So now I go to Nancy Parker. Now here's where you can get really efficient. Nancy's somebody I used to work with a million years ago. And her sister is actually a coach on my team. So this is a great person that I should be helping down the road. But here's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the same message in there to be efficient, because it was pretty basic, right? Okay, boom. So there's Nancy. I'm sending her a message. So now I'm just waiting for her to respond to me. So you can see how quickly I can create conversations with Teamzy. And you can do that in an hour. You go through quickly. You go through all of your prospects, then customers. Now, customers are super, 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 super important because your current customer is the most important, the hottest source of a new lead, the hottest source of a new customer is a current customer. There is no better lead source in the world for any business than a current customer, because a current customer is already using it. They're already thinking about it. They're already thinking about what they're going to put in their next shake. They're already looking forward to their next workout. They're thinking about it and they're starting to live it out loud. So you want to be in contact with your current customers. Not only will they retain longer and stay on Shakeology longer and do more workout programs, but if you're in contact every time you talk to them, you can remind them. You remind them. Listen, Dawn, for example, she's the next one. Dawn, I hope things are going great for you. And I just want to remind you that I would be honored to help any of your friends or family. Can you think of anybody who we can bless with the next challenge group? Look at the progress you've had, right? So who can we bring into the next group? I constantly ask people, who can we bring? Who do you know that could benefit from this? I want to help more people. Let's help some of your friends next. Okay, so constantly be talking to your customers. And of course, connecting with your coaches. And you can see when you get into a coach, you can, if you go to their contact, you can see that you've got personally sponsored downlines and then team coaches. So I think it's really worthwhile staying in contact with team coaches. Will they give you a direct lead to your business? No, but will you learn a ton? Will you be able to share tons of ideas? Of course, and the support and camaraderie. So it's important to just keep all the relationships churning and the leads will come. Does that make sense? Okay, and then the last piece, this is my favorite part of the whole thing, is the follow-ups. So when you get a follow-up, it's so easy to set a follow-up. You can see I have a follow-up tomorrow with Tracy. So if I'm connecting with her, I can set a follow-up for tomorrow, 2 days, 4 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a month, right? And all I do is just set it and forget it, and then she's on my follow-up list. So a lot of people, you notice those other people I completed, I didn't set a follow-up because I didn't even have a conversation yet. I'll just let them come back on my list in 90 days unless we have a conversation and it starts to lead somewhere. In which case, I'll start setting my follow-up. So the way I do it, this is just my system, you guys could use it any way you want, is if I get to a point where I send somebody links to order, I set a follow-up for tomorrow. And then tomorrow I follow up, and then I follow up again the next day, then I follow up in 2 days, then I follow up in 2 days, then I follow up in a week, then I follow up in a week, then I follow up in 2 weeks, then I follow up in 30 days. And if they don't buy by then, I drop them back into their cycle. But that is super effective. But the thing is before I had this, I would miss things, and so I know you guys probably go through this too. I would look through my Facebook messages and go, who did I talk to? And since I've had Teamzy, I have found myself going to connect with somebody and seeing in the Facebook message record that I sent them a link 7 months ago and never followed up. And then I feel terrible because what could I have done to help them change their life in the last 7 months? And they didn't get a change because I didn't follow up with them. So I'll stop there and open it up for questions with you guys, because I'm sure you have some, and otherwise I'll just keep talking. So what questions do you guys have for me?
I have a question. So when I first downloaded this a few days ago, I went and made 7 connections, but I didn't understand. I was assuming that it was connected to my Facebook, so I was just writing the messages on here, and I don't know how to find those now.
Okay, well, if you remember who it was you connected with, do you remember who it was you talked to?
You go to the search bar. I don't even know if I remember.
Yeah, so you just look them up. Like if I wanted to look up, you just type in any part of their name. Let's say it was Robert Kemp, and you go to your activity feed. The message that you recorded is there.
Oh, okay.
So you could copy and paste that into a message. I know when we first, when I first brought this to I affectionately call them my nerds. Can you build this for me? I wanted it to be able to message through Facebook, but Facebook changed. Gosh, when was it? October? No, October of last year. Facebook changed their security settings, so you can't do that anymore. So the best we can do is just kind of the copy and paste thing, unfortunately.
Right, which I've used since then, and that works great. There's no way to look up your day's history or something like the activity from that day.
There's not yet, but it's been a pretty requested feature, so they'll probably be adding that in the near future.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, the reason why there's no report, it's so funny because I was on a Zoom last night and we talked about this because the leader of that team said, I like to keep a notebook of everybody I connected with, and I'm still keeping the notebook because I don't have a report. And I said, well, this system is designed so that you don't have to do that because you know that they're just going to come back, and nobody's going to fall. But we'll get that soon.
Thanks.
Sure.
I have a question. Okay, so you had said that if the woman that you just connected with, you had said that if it turns into a conversation and you guys are kind of messaging back and forth, do you actually, I've been using it for a couple weeks now, and I haven't decided exactly how it works for me, the messaging back and forth. Do you log individual messages or just kind of the gist of what you guys are kind of talking about?
You know what I'll do is I will go back at the end of the day and I'll copy and paste the whole conversation into the first message. And so what I'll do is I'll go, I'll give you an example because I know this one I just recently did. So here's Ken Peckus. I used to coach him when he was a real estate, well, he still is a real estate agent, but when I was a real estate coach, I used to coach him. So if you go into his activity feed, you can see there's a really long message. So what I did was after that first message, I went back to edit and I just pasted the rest of the conversation in. And then you just boom and it saves it. So
and so is that over a couple, is that all in one day or is that over a couple days? Cause I know, you know what I mean?
It just depends. I usually will do it if it's, if I in the evenings, I might do it. I might have to do it a couple of times if the conversation keeps going.
Okay.
But I try not to log when you connect because it messes up my stats, right?
Yep.
So sometimes it'll be a really long message that pastes in there into history. There are times too, though, when I go in and I look in their activity feed and I never did paste the message and I grab it then and put it in before I send the new one type thing.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you're just saying when people write back to your original messages, basically at the end of the day or something, you would go back, search each person in the toolbar and then log it all in and then decide when you want to follow up with them next? Yeah.
Correct.
And I have another
question. Usually. Oh yeah, go ahead.
My other question is when I first signed on, I have a ton of friends, so I didn't rank everyone. Is there a way to go back in there now and rank people now that it's said and done, or do I just have to change it when they come up on my dashboard?
No, you can go to your team page, and then when you're on the team page, you can even go and let's say just prospects by toggling over here, and then when you on this little cog wheel, select ranking mode. And then you can just jam right down the list. And then when you're done, just go back to normal mode. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
you can
and
do it
then the ranking mode is just like basically how hot of a prospect it is to refer you, right? I mean, when I was looking at the ranking mode, it said like 4 was a challenger or a past customer. So, I mean, am I on the right track, or what is the difference there? I don't know. That kind of is like different for me in my mind.
Well, the main thing is, I mean, like your 5 would be your best customers or your best prospects, right? Typically, you know, it seems like contacting somebody every 60 days isn't that often, but it's pretty often actually, right? And the whole idea is we don't want to pester people and be a nag, but we want to be consistently in touch. So, you know, I've heard a lot of coaches just in the last 2 months that we've had this in beta, they've redefined for themselves what the numbers mean, right? A 5 is 30 days, a 4 is 60 days, a 3 is 90, and a 2 is 120. The way that I've always done it is this: a 5 is somebody who has brought me somebody else to my business. So if they have physically given me a new person, a new lead, or referred somebody to me, they're a 5. A 4 is somebody that is great or is likely to become a customer. I believe is very likely to become a customer, very likely to refer me somebody. A 3 is somebody like, you know, a 3 is somebody that I like, that maybe over time as I develop a relationship might do something. And then 2s are kind of just people that barely know me. So you'll notice that, well, you won't notice this, but I'll tell you, most of mine are 3s. So I burn through my 4s and 5s pretty quick. And then it's just tons of 3s, right? Because I don't know yet where they're going to land. And so I'm just like cranking through 3s. And there's each month out of those 3s, I get quite a few new customers. So they get upgraded, right? At that point.
Is there any reason that you would actually just delete them from your prospect list if they're just like coaches on another team or something? Like, I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of.
If they were a coach, I mean, yeah, if they're a coach on another team and they weren't a friend of yours that you wanted to maintain a relationship with, you can delete them.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it's like there are people in mind that I still connect with because I like them, and I feel like that's all good over time. You know what I mean? Okay. I just feel like if you send the love out in slices, it comes back in loaves. You know what I mean? Any other questions that you guys have?
How have you seen it affect your business? Like, how has your business gone?
That's great. That's a great question. So I'm a newer coach. I've been coaching for 18 months, and I've done pretty well. I mean, I went diamond in 90 days, and I've hit Success Club the whole, you know, always. I'm really trying hard to get the Success Club 10 All-Star this year at Summit. But what I will tell you is that I've been working this system my best as I can without Teamzy. I had a full-time job. I was an executive at that company until the end of July. I went full-time as a Beachbody coach. So now that I have Teamzy, it's really cool because I actually work the same amount of time on my Beachbody business as I did when I had a job, which is about 3 hours a day. But I've managed to hit probably, I mean, my average Success Club points over the last 3 months have been about probably 18 to 20 points a month. And that's doing no marketing outside of my Teamzy list.
Very cool.
So I don't have, if you guys find my like page, you'll see there's 4 likes on it and 3 posts because I just haven't gotten there yet. Not that that's not great, but I just haven't done that. So this is just, you know, I know from the real estate business, this works because people want to refer, you guys know this, people get results with their health. They want to refer it and they want they want what you have when they see you living it out.
Can you explain more like the referral side of this? Because I don't think I'm definitely not good about seeking out referrals. Probably that's not a strong suit of mine.
Okay. So here's what I'll tell you, because I know where this thing's going to shut off on us in a second. Right. But every single person on your list, not every single person on your list can be a customer. Right. But every single person on your list can bring you customers. So instead of thinking them as challengers or coaches, think of them as people who know 200 or so people that they could send to you, and that person would already trust you a bit because they came from a friend of yours. Does that make sense? So when you think about that, when you think about, hey, I'm here to serve you and people you care about, it expands your list exponentially. You know, and you get random things like, you know, I have 90-year-old women that refer me tons of people, younger folks in their 60s, you know, but whatever the case may be. So you got to, that's what I mean by referrals, is you think of everybody as their network, and the fact that if you serve them and let them know, here's the analogy I always say, you know, before I had my job, my corporate job, I worked in restaurants, and some of you guys probably did too. And I used to always, you know, people would come into my restaurant and I would say, hey, you know, are you enjoying yourself? And they say, yeah, we're having a great time. Say, well, listen, if you ever have any friends or family who are coming in, who have a special occasion, anniversary, birthday, please send them to me and I'll make sure they have an awesome time. We'll take great care of them. Right? People are like, thanks. That's what it is. It's, I want to help you, but also, like, you know, as a favor to you, I'm going to help the people you care about too. Does that make sense? So that's where the whole referral mindset comes into this relationship thing. And then when you get a new person that you meet on Instagram or Facebook or at the grocery store, you put them in Teamzy, and then over time you build a relationship with them. You know?
Oh, just one more quick question while we have you then. So because we're constantly growing our networks, you know, if I uploaded all of my contacts 5 days ago, how often or how do you go about updating your contact list?
What I do is I just put them in, once I've got everything in, I just put them in one at a time as they come up.
Okay.
Let me see, I'll show you real quick how easy that is to do. So basically just right here at the top of the screen, this add contact. So you just put in what they are, right? And you just, once you put in their name, I gotta remember to delete Joe Schmo later. You guys are, I have this toolbar, no way. So then it just creates it just automatically creates the thing for them. You can change the rank, and then you can go in and put the rest of your information. So for example, if you get a free customer from Beachbody, which you might get, I get one every few days. I get 1 or 2 of those. I just grab them, copy paste, boom, 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 put it in Teamzy as soon as they come in, so that I'm not having to do exports all the time. So that's part of my, you know, that's part of this every day, is getting this circle, the at least one new person added in.
If you export, if you choose to just export like every 5 days, will it double your contacts, or will it only import the new ones?
No, it will definitely. Well, I think it'll probably cause. I'm not positive. I have to ask the guys on that. I know that there's not a deduping tool. If you have a duplicate on your customer and coach list, it'll eliminate that. But I wouldn't recommend doing that. I think that'll cost.
I think it'll duplicate them,
Definitely.
because I did that accidentally whenever I first started syncing mine, and I had to go in and just be like, no, let's just start from scratch.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's on their list. Their dev list is to create a tool to deduplicate or to combine, merge contacts when they're duplicates, but it's not there yet.
Yeah, I uploaded my husband's account too from the Coach Online office, and I got a bunch of duplicates from the downline, obviously, which I didn't think about. So yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. This has been awesome. I know we're gonna lose you in like 2 minutes, so.
Yeah, thank you.
It's my pleasure, guys. And here's the thing I'll tell you too, is sounds like a lot of you guys are already using it, but the beta test period is going to end on December 21st. So make sure that everybody on your team gets a free account started before then, because if they like Teamzy and they want to keep it going, the price is going to be a lot less for everyone that was in beta. So they get like a founder's rate for life. So it's definitely worth getting in there and trying it out in the next few weeks. That's it. Then enjoy it. And also there's a big feedback button on the top right where you can put your ideas and your suggestions, and you know, they've already made like 100 changes since it's been in beta. So it's really cool. The whole point here is to have a program that really helps coaches, and it's really made for us. You know what I mean? So I hope that's helpful to you guys.
Definitely. Thank you so much for getting on our call. This was awesome. It's definitely something we can share with our team. So thank you.
Thanks for having me. Talk to you guys soon.
Thanks. Bye.